Ooh, it says I'm live. Am I live? What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. I am the CryptoBullGod, and in today's live streaming video, what I will be doing is I'm going to walk you through what I have found to be a key area of support on many of the altcoin charts. If you appreciate the content, hit the bell icon, subscribe to the channel, click the thumbs up button, and drop a comment. So real quick, before we get into everything, I hope everyone had, for all the fathers out there, I hope you had a nice Father's Day. I didn't do too much today besides a lot of Bitcoin and chart analysis. Well, and I worked out this morning. I mean, that's like a given, right? So, but why don't you, for everybody who's here right now, I mean, I was waiting until the viewers reached approximately 1 to 2,000. We're sitting at 3, so I think that's a good number for now. So we're just going to dive into things, but why don't you share with me what you did today? So a quick also reminder before we get into things that on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing another live stream event for the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour. Again, that is going to be something that's going to be weekly. There will be times if I'm unavailable in my home office. I got to kind of see how the live streaming works with a laptop, but there is a potential when I'm traveling that I will still put out a video on Wednesday. I want to be a lot more consistent with getting content out there, but it may not be a live stream. So there may be some weeks where I'll notify you, I'll let you guys know, but it may not be a live stream. But I'm really aiming to do a live stream such that you guys can ask questions on anything technical analysis related, and hopefully I can help you. Just something I wanted to reiterate before we get into some of the content. I threw out a tweet earlier today. If you're not subscribed to me on Twitter, you'll want to subscribe to me on there because I do post a lot of charts. I've posted out a lot of interesting things lately, or tweeted a lot of things lately in terms of, how incredible of a generational buying opportunity this seems to be. Things have gone lower than what I and many in the space have felt they would go. And it's just presenting a historical opportunity to get in. If you, depending on your investment horizon, if you're not looking to day trade, it presents an awesome opportunity. But there was something in particular I wanted to reiterate. This tweet right here, for anybody out there, for anyone tuning in, for anyone who watches this video a little bit later on, I have my own sort of type of content that I like to put out there, but at the heart of what I'm doing, I really am attempting to engage with others and to help to educate them, okay? And this tweet was really aimed at people doing just that. Whether a channel has 1,000 subscribers like myself, I have just under 2,000 subscribers, I don't have a lot, or to a channel that has 200,000 subscribers. To all the content creators that are out there really looking to educate and to help others and who are genuine, it's tough in an environment like this. I've seen my YouTube channel, Twitter followers kind of dwindling during really static bearish price action, and it's really tough. And you get a lot of toxic people out there who don't take responsibility for their own financial investments and want to place the blame on someone else. So to all the content creators out there, to anyone who's watching, who's creating any form of content and is trying their best to keep others informed and educated, cheers to you. So no alcohol this evening, but cheers to you with this annoying water bottle, which, by the way, I did see someone dropped a comment on a water bottle preference suggestion, so I'm going to have to take a look at that. I'm behind on the comments on YouTube. So, all right, Stuart XRP. Lazy day for me. Got some spot tell and went to the gym. Good for you, brother. I went to the gym as well. Today was a little booby action and six-pack action going on. Jack says you look good. I'd prefer if it would be a lady, but I prefer that, Jack. So, all right, so let's get into things. Actually, Stuart, thank you for the compliment. Stuart XRP is a perfect transition because the first altcoin we're going to look at is XRP. at some point I'm going to create a video, and I've actually been thinking about this. I think it might be called The Curious Case of XRP, and we're going to examine the chart and how volatile the asset's been. So unfortunately for this cycle, XRP has been one of the weaker laggards. It's remained in the top 10, but it hasn't even cleared its prior all-time cycle high. So, but what I want to do is I want to take a look at, I was telling CryptoBringer on the phone earlier, I have some issue with my ear. I can't hear right out of the right side of my ears. So anyway, might be all that heavy metal music I listen to in the gym. So too loud in the headphones, you know what I'm saying? So what I want to do is I want to take a look at a few altcoin charts that I'm evaluating. Some of them will be more old school projects, and some of them are more recent. But the ones that I'm focusing in on, the ones that I'm sharing with you, the only one I have up here that I intended to show was Matic, and it looks like I didn't throw that together, so maybe I'll throw that together on the spot. But what I'm seeing is, okay, I want to be crystal clear about this. What I'm seeing is a commonality in terms of the level of retracements that have occurred within altcoins. And we're going to take a look at that and examine if this could potentially provide a good bounce zone. And whether it's a dead cat bounce or whether it's the beginning stages of a turnaround towards our next leg up going into the end of this year and the middle to late of next year. Again, we have to be realistic with time frames given how hard and lengthy the correction has been. We'll have to allow that to play out, right? So let's take a look at XRP, and I'll use this as an example to kind of illustrate what I'm showing moving forward. Now, what I'm showing here is a Fibonacci retracement. Okay, now I use Fibonacci extensions and Fibonacci retracements here or there. I don't use them a lot. But let's actually let's keep it on Fibonacci retracements, since that's what I'm speaking about. Sometimes I do use Fibonacci retracements. And the key area when you're using a Fibonacci retracement is essentially when you evaluate years and years and years of price data and charts, there's this common pullback level. It's called the 0.618 within the Fibonacci retracement area. And actually, there's a zone that myself and others in the space have evaluated where crypto typically likes to pull back after an extended rise in price. And that's anywhere between the 0.618 and 0.702. There are other extensions we'll take a look at, or retracements. But this is really the key area I want to hit on here, the 0.618 to 0.702, okay? The point I'm measuring from is March of 2020. So any cryptocurrency project that I'm evaluating here, and I mistakenly tagged Quant to include in here, but it wasn't around in March of 2020. So any cryptocurrency project that would have been around before the beer virus crash and had that capitulation wick in March 2020, what we're doing is we're measuring from that point all the way up to the current cycle market top. And we're asking the question, okay, so from this point, again, I do this all the time. I take my finger and I point around like you can see me. I don't know what I'm doing. So I take the point from the all-time low of March 2020, okay, and I extend it all the way up. So you know what? What we can do is do this together one time just to show you what I'm doing. Whoa, what happened there? So what I can do is delete this. I'm just going up to Tradingview, and I'm clicking the Fib retracement, okay? And I measure approximately from the bottom here, although it's exact for this video, up to the top here. That's all I do. I extend it up. And then the question I ask myself is, okay, how far is this thing extending down? And again, if you study historical data in charts, Jack, that was what I was about to say, but people are so PC these days, no homo. You do look good. Okay, no homo. I bat for one team. I respect everybody. I love everyone, but I bat for my team. So I don't bat for both sides, just my team. So historically, if you look at data, what you'll see is price data often likes to converge in this area right here, and this moved on me. Right in here, in this 0.618 to 0.702. So what we can see for XRP, despite there's been blah, blah, blah price action, and it's it's essentially been doing this. Since we hit our top here at essentially $2, it's been kind of like, beep, 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 beep. What it's done is it's retraced right in the golden pocket of what we would expect. That's what it's called, the golden pocket, the 0.618, okay? Thank you for the 6 viewers who are tuning in right now. I see 6 likes. Much appreciated. Make sure to spread the content if you appreciate it. So I'm seeing a pullback to the 0.618. If we go over to XLM, what are we seeing? The sister coin of XRP, it is, as it is often referred to as. I own both, okay? And props to my brother, because I learned from him. I was over-allocated in XRP and under-allocated in XLM, and I adjusted that a couple years ago. So props to my brother, Crypto Bringer, for that. So as you can see here, we are just about at the 0.618 fib retracement level. So we're getting very close. Again, March 2020 bottom to cycle top in May of 2021 at about 81 cents. And we've since retraced down to the 0.618, okay? We go to Ethereum Classic. Again, I don't care what you fundamentally believe about the chart. I'm going to share some charts on Ethereum Classic that will actually tell you it's maintaining a very high level of strength relative to both Ethereum and Bitcoin. Again, it's just reading the charts. I'm not here to fundamentally tell you if you should invest in Ethereum Classic because you believe in it. Chart-wise, it's actually been holding up very well. And as you can see here, what has Ethereum Classic done? This is a weekly view. We bottomed in March of 2020. We had a high in May of 2021, and look where we retraced, right in between the 0.618 and the 0.702, okay? We go to Digibyte. I've really been sending out a lot of tweets on Digibyte lately, okay? It's something that I've more heavily started to invest in because I appreciate the market structure and also some of the fundamentals backing this project, which, by the way, has created a new all-time high relative to its 2018 all-time high, which many of the projects like XRP, Zcash, Dash, they can't say that, right? So this has been around for a while. So when we bottomed in March of 2020, we topped here in May of 2021. Look at where we're sitting. It's the same story. We're bottoming in this 0.618 to 0.702. I'm not, by the way, as I'm pointing all of these things out, I'm not telling you that we can't go lower. What I'm trying to share with you is an observation that I have regarding a lot of these altcoins, and I'm theorizing that this could be the bottom, or at the very least a temporary bottom, before maybe we create some lows. Like in this example, maybe what I'm also saying, which would be less bullish, maybe we come up here, we come up to a certain level. I'm not going to draw what I drew last time for all those who tuned in the last video. I'm going to be a lot more cognizant of what I'm drawing on the white screen here. But maybe we come down and we create a low, but we come all the way down to the 0.702. So I'm not saying we have definitively bottomed, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of commonality in these charts to suggest that we could be at the very least, in a bottoming process, okay? ZRX, okay? We actually went below the 0.702. Now, we're actually right around the 0.702 here from March 20 to our top up here in like March of 2021. The 0.786 is another level, a key level of retracement in Fibonacci extensions and retracements. So we actually got very close to this 0.786, but you can see we're gravitating right in this 0.702 to 0.618. Let's go to some newer coins, okay? Let's first go to Chainlink. I wanted to evaluate Uniswap, but it didn't have enough price data, unfortunately. Uniswap, in my personal opinion, is even more undervalued than Chainlink, and I'll get into more of that in another video as to why, looking at the relativity charts. But anyway, look at what Chainlink did. I mean, for all you who are invested in Chainlink, as disheartening as it is. And again, I want to stress when I tweet a lot of this stuff out, again, I was on the phone with my brother earlier, and I said, my portfolio on paper was at a point where I could have bought a fleet of Lamborghinis, and on paper, my investments now could buy a fleet of Geo Metros. For those who don't know Geo Metros, Honda Civics, okay? And I'm talking like 1996 Honda Civics, okay? So I feel the pain. But the point is, we went from March 2020 all the way up here, right? and we've since retraced, and look where we came. We came into the golden zone, the golden pocket, the 0.618. We're right in between the 0.618 and 0.702. Thank you for everybody for hitting the thumbs up button. I do appreciate it. I'm like Donovan McNabb. I got a little nose action going on here. So again, this is another altcoin that's saying, hey, you know, we're re-hitting this historically significant bounce zone at the 0.618. We held support there, which is a good sign. That's a very good sign, no matter how dismal price looks right now. Let's get into the Holy Crypto Trinity. So let's first get into Harmony One. Of all the cryptocurrency projects currently out there, I still feel like this is, or excuse me, of the three components of the Holy Crypto Trinity, I still feel like this is the more undervalued one, but we'll have to see how it plays out. But right now, we are very close to hitting this 0.618. Look at this thing. We came, oh wow, I did not draw this right. I drew this too quickly. You know what? I need to make a correction here. I apologize. This was December of 2020. Look at that. That's what happens when you don't have peer review work. So this bottom in March of 2020, I drew this too hastily. I apologize. I'm an actuary. I'm big on accuracy. So this is March of 2020. We bottomed here at approximately 0.001. Okay, that's like Digibyte's USD value right now. Okay, so we bottomed there, and we rode this thing all the way up, okay, all the way up to 40 cents, okay, and we have since retraced. We haven't even hit the 0.618 fib retracement level, okay? We haven't even hit it yet. So this is the golden pocket, and we have not gotten there yet. So what is this telling me? Let me be very clear here. What this is telling me is the chart of Harmony One is exhibiting greater strength at the moment than the other altcoins I show you. They came all the way down to a 0.618. This thing is holding a lot more strength. Let's see what sort of fib retracement it actually has here, because I'm curious myself. Okay, so we're close to the 0.5 fib retracement. Now, I'm not saying that it needs to come down here. I'm not saying that price has to come down here to a penny to a half a penny. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is all these other projects demonstrated that they were bouncing off this zone. The fact that this is up at the 0.5 fib retracement is telling me it's, at the moment, it is currently exhibiting greater strength relative to the other projects. Let's look at HBAR, all you HBARbarians, okay? I am an HBARbarian. So this is the March 20. If we look at the March 2020 wick down, and we ride this thing all the way up to 58 cents, we can see this thing wicked almost perfectly right on the 0.702. Excuse me, we're right in this golden zone here, okay? Right in the golden zone. I should have made these circles yellow golden instead of orange. So again, another project that is wicked right where you want to see it bounce. So we need to see if this level holds, and we begin to create bullish structure to move up. Mana has been the strongest member of the Holy Crypto Trinity, leading us to that generational wealth transfer opportunity. There's no question about that. Look at where Mana's at right now. The 0.618 and 0.702 fib retracement level is all the way down here, which in my opinion, I don't want to say there's no way. I never want to say that, but I do not see this thing going down to 12 cents, 13 cents, or 8 cents from where it's at. Unless there's a disaster. I don't see that happening. You can see it just had this thing had a parabolic run. We ran, once we stabilized in price, we ran from approximately 4 cents up to $6. If you were invested in this thing down in the 20 to 30 cent range like I was, and you were scaling in at 60, 70 cents, I mean, you made out very well, okay? This thing barely missed the 0.382 fib extension of any of the altcoins that I'm about to show you. This is exhibiting the greatest strength, okay? So this is one case where we haven't revisited this golden zone, and it's exhibiting a lot of strength, and I'll further show you in another video when we look at the Mana BTC relational chart. When we look at the price appreciation for Mana versus BTC, you'll see that not only is Mana holding up well against Bitcoin, but it's actually outpacing Bitcoin. So we'll get into that in the next video. Doge. You can see Doge, who Elon Musk is very synonymous with pumping. By the way, real quick with Doge, I'm curious. There was a Twitter thread that came up with Credible Crypto, and I'm curious. He was commenting on Teslas, and I've never driven a Tesla before. Has anyone here driven a Tesla? Because one of the things that I sort of can't get past with Teslas is the idea that you're driving a car and it literally makes no noise. Even though I drive, my daily driver, which I just go to the gym and back on most days, is a 2001 Acura Integra, okay? And I've done a little bit of minor performance work. I have plans to do more performance work, a lot more performance work with it. But I've done minor performance work, and I love the way the exhaust sounds. I love the way that car sounds. And I just can't imagine getting in a car and it's just silent. It's just completely silent. So for anyone out there, I'm not seeing any comments. Has anyone been in a Tesla, test-driven a Tesla? Because I don't know that I can get past a car not hearing the sound of the engine, But anyway, Doge, you can see we hit this 0.382 fib retracement level. This thing is experiencing a lot of strength relative to a lot of the other altcoins because it had such a parabolic run up. You can see from March 2020, we were down here at 0.134 cents, not even a penny. It was a tenth of a penny, okay? And we ran up to 74 cents. If you were invested in this thing, God bless you, because you did as well as someone could have done for themselves. So I definitely am not saying we're going to enter this 0.15 to 0.008 golden zone down here. What I'm trying to point out here, similar to Mana, is this is an example of a crypto project that is exhibiting greater strength relative to the other projects. And the last one that I wanted to look at here was Ethereum. So you can see Ethereum, similar to Mana and Doge, while Mana was just above the 0.382, this thing has come back to the 0.382. I don't expect it to come down to the 0.618. Anything is possible. I don't expect it. If you watch my prior video, you know the zone I'm watching between 800 and 1,000. It looks like we wicked no, we actually did. We hit 880. I thought we were at 975. The low on Ethereum was 880. That could be our low, but we'll have to watch for further evidence. Before I close things out here, this is really wanted to share with you. Maybe I can hit a Bitcoin chart or two, but does anybody have any TA questions? I can quick take some TA questions, but I just want everyone to remain level-headed. I have tried to put out some high-level charts in terms of keeping people trying to keep people emotional as it can be in this market, and trying to, provide some historical data to keep things in context in terms of how oversold everything is. This is one chart that we looked at here. It looks like this is the one with the Mayer multiple. Again, the Mayer multiple is telling us we're at historical lows. It's just looking at the ratio of the Bitcoin USD price in relation to the 200 SMA on the weekly chart. Well, in this case, it's the daily, but I was looking at it on the weekly view. But regardless, there are so many charts that are telling us not that we have necessarily bottomed. Maybe we go 5% lower, maybe we go 10% lower, 20% lower, 15% lower, 7.5% lower. But the point is, if you're an investor and you're not looking to trade this thing overnight, and you're looking to get in this for many months out, many years out, getting in right now, I'm trying to illustrate to you, getting in right now is one of the smartest decisions you can make. Let me pull up a quick chart here. I'm not seeing any comments. So if no one has any comments, questions on charts, is there anything you want me to chart? Let's take a quick look here. I've kind of shared some of this stuff. Where's the week? Is this a chart I want to look at? We can use this. This is actually a 2-week chart. So let's focus on the RSI. So the relative strength index, this is actually, I was looking at this on a 2-week view instead of a weekly view. You can see that at current levels, the 2-week RSI on Bitcoin is at 34.84. In 2015, we were at 34.37. So basically the same level. This was actually lower when the price was lower. So what happens is the RSI, the relative strength index, it restates as price moves up and down, okay? So the important thing when you're looking at a price indicator like this, okay, when someone shows you this on Twitter, like myself, what they're not saying just because we've hit a historical low is that it's time to go all in, and we've bottomed and the price is going to go back up to the moon. That's not what it's saying. What it's saying is we are way oversold, historically way oversold in context to the entire price data that Bitcoin has of 11 and a half years. So if you look at 11 and a half years of data, we are so oversold that we're due for a bounce. Now that bounce could result in the RSI coming back up to say 41 and creating a new low, and then coming back up. But if you zoom out, you see every time we've been in this area, no matter what happens in the short term, whatever happens in the short term, we go way up. We go way up. That's the focus you need to keep. And it's frustrating because when I see people like, actually, I don't want to name names, but when you see people giving everything they have to this space and putting out value-added, unemotional content and putting out what they see in the charts, what they're doing is they're providing you with probabilities. There are too many people who listen to content such as mine and take it as certainties. There are no certainties. What I'm trying to do as a data scientist or a mathematician is I'm trying to analyze the data and provide you with probabilities in each direction, right? So that is the aim of the educational content that I put out. So hopefully that's what you're getting from it. But I do see there are some questions. This is good to see because this is the part of the conversation that I enjoy, where I can stop talking. So thank you. Okay, first question. What do you say about the Steppen app with Solana? I'm not familiar. Sorry, Rawaz. I'm not familiar with that. I would have to do some homework on there. So sorry, I can't help you there. Can you do Sol? Yes, I can take a look at Solana with the same sort of analysis. I hate to not be able to answer a question, but I always want to keep things 100 with you guys. If I can't answer a question, I can't answer a question. All right, let's look at this thing on a weekly view. You know, I might not be able to do the same analysis if this thing isn't... Okay. Yeah, this isn't... So I can't give you the same exact analysis because this thing doesn't look like it was available in March of 2020. Oh, no, maybe it was. I mean, no, it wasn't. But what we could do, we put this on log. Let's do an analysis together, okay? So we're going to do this one a little different, all right? We're going to take a look at our bottom here, okay? So what I'm going to do, thank you for the question, Jack. I appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this low right here in December of 2020. I'm going to measure to the top and see where we've retraced to. That's all I'm doing. There's no magic behind it, all right? So here is the bottom. This is approximate. I'm not going to make it exact. Okay. Yeah, so you can see, now this is the reason I've done it. We had this large wave movement up, and then we had a correction from around, where's this at? I want to be careful what I draw. Ever since I drew a dick on the screen, I got to be careful what I'm drawing here. That was, by the way, for all those that saw the last video, that was completely unintentional. I felt like such an idiot. So, you know, but it'll happen. So $4, it was around $4, and we retraced to $1. Okay, so that's what I'm doing is once we got finished with our correction, good, more questions. Look at this. Once we corrected, I'm measuring from the bottom all the way up to the top up here, okay? So as you can see here, we haven't even hit the 0.5 fib retracement level. Again, Solana was one of these projects that hit a massive... what is it, the 0.382? Is it 0.382? I want to be, yeah, 0.382. All right, let's change this. 0.382. So let's see what Solana has done on its pullback here. So Solana, similar to Ethereum and similar to Doge, again, and the reason for this is I'm not anticipating it going down to the 0.618 and 0.702, okay? Like the majority of all of the altcoins that I showed you for support. That's why I titled the video the way it is. They're showing a lot of support in between the 0.618 and 0.702, hence my hands were out like this. But you have some stronger performers that aren't going to see this level more than likely. Okay, they're not going to see levels down here. They're exhibiting strength in this 0.382. Probably worst case scenario is 0.5. Okay, so right now Solana is exhibiting a lot of strength right around this 0.382 fib retracement at $32. So that's what I would say about Solana, just looking at the fib retracements without going into areas of support and resistance. So thank you for the question. All right, another question here. Have you seen the death cross in the 200 or 400 weekly MA? Occurred past 2 bear markets to signal the bottom. You know, there was something I was looking, actually it was kind of opposite of that. I was actually looking at when we would top, and I was trying to formulate an analysis on moving averages. I have to go back to that at some point. I'm rambling, I know I'm speaking to myself, but well, so you're talking, so let's make sure we're on the same page here, okay? So you're saying, have you seen the death cross on the 200 or 400 weekly moving average? First off, I'm assuming you're speaking to Bitcoin. You haven't said what crypto project you're speaking to. I assume you mean Bitcoin. Secondly, a death cross means the 50, which is the purple line here, crosses below the 200. That has not happened, okay? I don't even know that there is a 400 weekly moving average. I'm not going to try and pull it up, but it doesn't look like in the history we've ever had a 50 cross below the 200. So I'm not sure what you might have to elaborate there because I'm not sure what you're saying, Jam Donuts. Yeah, you'll have to elaborate because that's not technically correct what you're saying. All right, Nigel, just wondering which sector do you think will die a death? Wow, we're pretty negative. Which sector will die a death? A deadly death. Die, motherfucker, die. Just wondering which sector do you think will die a death and which you think will surge in this bear market? In other words, play to earn, I think you mean for example. You know, a lot of people confuse that. EG means for example. IE means in other words, just so you know. I learned that maybe only 10 years ago. Well, I'm not going to say how old I am, but for how many years of my life, I never knew what the difference was. But I think you mean, for example, play to earn, jog to earn, eat to learn. Okay. DeFi. This is a good, I feel like I see what you're getting at here. So I want to clarify something. I do not believe we're in a bear market. Now, you can fill the comments here with hatred. No, nobody here is going to fill the comments with hatred. You're here because you appreciate the content, right? But you can fill the comments with what are you talking about? There's a lot of people out there that do fill a lot of toxicity when I say, or others say that it's not a bear market. My premise, and I really want to spend a little bit more time looking at an expanding flat correction or an expanded flat correction. But my premise is, let me explain this in generalities because I kind of hit on this in the prior video. When we bottomed here in 2019, 2018, we had an impulse up, right? In Elliott wave, this is called a wave 1. We then had a corrective wave structure to wave 2. We then ran up to a wave 3. We then had something which I need to learn a little bit more about called an A-B, where the B actually goes above wave 3 down to a C correction. So this entire, Jesus, this is an ugly, ugly chart. This entire price action from this top down here, here, this is all a correction. This is not a bear market. We've been in a correction for a long time. That's the impression I'm under. We have not experienced a blow off top. Once we actually, my view is, once we actually have a true wave 5 movement up, maybe it occurs mid-year, I'm just going to guesstimate here. This is just for the sake of conversation, okay? Maybe we have a wave 5 movement up and we get up to 150,000 right around this area, mid 2023. Then we're going to have a giant ABC correction and we're going to come down, way down, okay? So that's going to be our extended bear market, in my opinion. But nonetheless, even though we're in a correction, in my opinion, and not a bear market, let's still take a look at what you're asking here. So Oh, the question was, what projects do you think will exhibit the greatest strength in the bear market? I honestly, it's anyone's guess, right? But I actually think there's a lot of different, the word's escaping me. I actually think there's a lot of different spaces, a lot of different spaces within the crypto market that sort of seemingly have died off like DeFi that I think will make a resurgence. And ultimately, when we do have this wave 5 movement up, I think it's going to be an everything narrative. That's my view. I don't think there's going to be an anything narrative. I think it's going to be store value Bitcoin. I think it's going to be DeFi. I think it's going to be payments with XRP and XLM. Hell, you can use Bitcoin Cash in there. That thing will get pumped too. It will be everything. It'll be layer 1, layer 2, scaling solutions for Ethereum. I think it'll be ultimately an everything narrative. Now, what will, metaverse, NFTs, everything. What will be strongest in the bear market? I mean, ultimately, the things that are least volatile, right? Your higher market capitalization projects should fare better. Excuse me, not bear market, correction. Your higher market capitalization projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, AVAX, BNB, XRP, Luna. Ooh, sorry. Luna 2.0, Luna to 0. That's, yeah. Those are the projects because they have a higher market capitalization. They should fare better in general. But I think once everything runs, it's just going to be an everything narrative. That's my own view. So thank you for the question. I feel educated now. There you go, brother. I like it. This is an avenue for education for me. I don't know if I shared this with you. I used to do a lot of tutoring way back in the day. So I genuinely like helping other people learn stuff. Bill Kahn. Dude, that's a hell of a name. Bill Kahn. Sounds like you're like an actor or something. Bill starring Bill Kahn as, I don't know what the hell. The BTC top will happen between November of 2022 and, okay, let's take a look at this. I was like, that sounds familiar. So there's a correction to that, though, because as you recall, and I have to go, I don't know which chart it is. I'm not going to pull it up, but well, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Now you're making me, damn you, Bill Kahn. Where's my monthly chart here? There's so many damn, I don't know. I have so many damn charts here. If I can't find it quickly, we're not going to take a look at it, okay? And I'll just speak to it. But the whole premise behind that chart was us bottoming in May, but it got extended out to June. I think I can just speak to it if it's not here. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So the whole premise behind that, Bill, was we had bottomed in May. But if you recall from my video, what I had said was, that is if this was the bottoming month. If June ends up being our bottoming month, I'm just using this time period here and this time period here to estimate when we could top. So that's actually been extended out to December to July because June actually created a new lower low relative to May, right? So June could theoretically, potentially, hypothetically, it could be our bottoming monthly candle, okay? So wanted to correct you there. It says, following technical indicators, will HBAR front run or follow BTC's impulse and move up? If after, but when will HBAR top? Ooh, we got an HBAR berry in here. So most altcoins like HBAR, I would fully anticipate that they're not going to front run Bitcoin. If we use past data as a guide to help tell us what is more likely, and again, we have limited price data. All we can use is, it's one of the reasons I said when people put so much weight into looking at something and saying, this has happened once or twice. Well, and here we are again. Well, it's happened once or twice. So there's not a lot of statistical significance in it. But in all fairness, we have 11 and a half years of price data to draw conclusions from, right? So we can't really discern a lot from that. All we can do is, whoa, sorry about that. This is a very expensive microphone. All we can do is discern what we can from past data, and also just being a technical analyst, analyzing stock charts and just using all that education and the chart from Bitcoin and crypto to make probabilistic statements regarding future price action, right? So in this case, what we can say for HBAR is more than likely based on past data, HBAR's top will occur after BTC. I don't know if it'll be a week or 2 weeks or 3. No, nobody else does either. But it should, more than likely, based on past data, should be after Bitcoin. Stuart XRP. That's how we kicked off the podcast. That's how we kicked off the live stream. We went to XRP first. What we got here? Do you ever look at market cap others' dominance calculated by Tradingview in LogView? That's a really good question. You know, one of the things I really value is suggestions, comments from my audience. I really do. So I have not. So when I look at market cap dominance, I will strictly look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. I'll sometimes invert it to get a different perspective on it. I've never looked at others' dominance before, but thank you for asking the question because what that's making me think is, hey, CBG, you should take a look at that. The thing is, there's so many different charts you can take a look at. There's so many different charts you can calculate. There's so many charts you can take a look at. And sometimes, you know, I have a day job. I'm very busy with that stuff, personal life. It's like I don't have all the time in the world to think about all the different charts I can evaluate, right? So when someone like Stuart XRP makes a recommendation on something to look at, I do take it serious if it seems value added. So no, I have not looked at it, but yes, I do want to take a look at it. So thank you for bringing it up. All right, this might be the last question here. JM Donuts again. Those indicators that have crossed both cycles and signaled the bottom are the 20. Oh, I saw this earlier. Yeah, I saw something on this earlier. There's been a lot of people who have actually been talking about it. So there does seem to be some statistical, it's limited. Let me just say this. It's limited statistical significance because, again, everything is limited statistical significance when you're zooming out higher time frame based on 11 and a half years of data. So it's limited statistical significance. But there is data that suggests that when this event occurs, the 20 moving average crosses below the 100 simple moving average. I think it's on the weekly, right? Pretty sure it's on the weekly. When that happens, it has signaled that the bottom has happened or will happen very shortly thereafter. So because that is happening, or it has happened, or it's happening this week, I'm not going to pull anything up to try and chart it at the moment. But because it's happened or it's happening this week, what that's signaling is based on history, we have bottomed this week, we have bottomed, or we're going to bottom this week. That's what it's saying. So yeah, no, I see some weight in that. What's up, Bill Kahn? You're welcome, sir. What movies have you started? Because I still feel like you got like a movie star name, Bill Kahn. All right, no other questions? If there are no other questions, I think I'm going to close things out. By the way, you wouldn't believe, like I'm like a pretty average, typical person just live streaming, trying to share content, and I have no like professional experience or professional stuff to help me out. So you wouldn't imagine some of the shit I go through to try to get this stuff up and going. So, and I'm not very technically savvy. I'm honestly not. You know, as much as I know about the fintech space and I feel confident to explain a lot of things concerning digital assets, cryptocurrency is a misnomer. Digital assets. When it comes to like computer shit, I'm not really the best. I'm honestly not the best. At some point, I may need to hire somebody to like do all this stuff with me or do all this stuff for me. Oh, we got one more question. All right, so let me answer this one question. I think we're going to close things out. Todd. Okay, you weren't in here earlier, Todd. What's up, brother? Did you hit the thumbs up button, Todd? Because I'm not answering your question unless you hit the thumbs up button. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. But hit the thumbs up button if you haven't. Do you think with the... more questions. Come on, CBG needs to get some sleep, everybody. I go to bed early. I wake up early. Do you think with the recent attacks on some crypto projects and regulation in the works, the wrath of God, the cryptos with more utility and use cases will end up shaking up the top 10? You know, this is actually a really good question. I'm glad you asked it. It's a very thought-provoking question. You know, in one of my earlier videos, it was a couple videos ago, I spoke to how early we are within the space. Like, think about how many people are actually invested in the space and how many people are actually well-versed in the space, okay? When the dot-com bubble burst, okay, when that huge thing took place, for all those who were present during that time, I was too young to really remember anything, you know, because I'm like 25 years old. So when that stuff happened, okay, everybody was invested in like internet companies. Everybody was in like Netscape and like Juno and all that shit, all right? There's not a lot of people invested in crypto right now, so we're very, very early. So why do I bring this up related to your question? Well, I think in the end, yes, as the space matures, utility will win out, okay? Things like Hedera Hashgraph and HBAR, which utilize hashgraph technology, which is far superior to blockchain technology. Do I think in the end, in many ways, that will win out? Yes. XRP, I have done so much homework on XRP and the utilization that it could provide the world in remittance payments. Okay, so I'm very familiar. Nobody needs to educate me on that. I'm quite familiar. Do I think utility projects like that will win out in the end? Yes, but we're very early. So there's a lot of hype, speculation, and shitcoins, by the way. I don't know if I showed this before. Got a little shitcoin, you know? I think I showed this before, shitcoin. I sent this to my brother as a joke when everything was taking a shit. Yeah, CryptoBringer, you know it. So a lot of those things, ooh, message restricted, Mr. Johnson. Must have been bad. So utility will win in the end, but I think it's going to be some time until that actually materializes because of how early we are. It's a very good question. It's a very good question. Okay, another question. How important a role would you say RSI divergence plays in technical analysis? Does it need to reach a particular RSI level or demonstrate divergence? So what I would say is when you have bullish or bearish divergence within the RSI, it's just another data point or indicator to tell you what is possible. The one thing I want to stress to everybody is there is no one chart. There is no one indicator that can tell you what will happen, okay? Again, sometimes I think I take for granted that because I work with numbers and I understand things very number logic-wise, that I assume that other people just get it. And what I have to do is kind of remove myself from the actuarial footsteps and realize that everybody has their own gifts in life, but not everybody is analytical, okay? So what I would say to everyone who's looking at this stuff with charts and analytics is what I do as an analytics person is I have, to keep it simple, 5 data points. And those 5 data points tell me a probable direction, but there is no certainty. That's what I would say. So with RSI divergence, it's just another data point. That's all it is. Good question. Yeah, good question, Khan. I'm just going to call you Khan now, brother. Elliott wave analysis, where can we learn about it? I've asked others about it. It's something that I've wanted to learn more about this year. I don't know that it's going to happen because I'll keep this short, but a lot of my own personal goals have not yet materialized because we got a larger correction than I thought. Okay, so I'm remaining patient and I'm waiting for things to reappreciate in value before I can realize some of those life goals. At which point I should have more time to learn Elliott wave analysis, but it hasn't materialized for this year. So when I actually kind of delve into it and start to learn more about Elliott wave analysis, if you reach out to me, are you hooked up with me on Twitter? If you are, shoot me a DM, because when I find something good on EW analysis, that's short for Elliott wave. When I find something good, I can share it with you. But I have all sorts of goals and things that I want to learn about. I need to like sketch it out and be more organized about it. Everything from salsa, gotta learn how to move my hips, golf lessons, Elliott wave analysis, real estate market. There's all sorts of stuff on my list that I want to learn about. So I just need to organize my thoughts and prioritize how I want to spend my time outside of work. Plus, I will say, in all honesty, maintaining content like this is very time consuming. I love doing it. Don't get me wrong, or I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it, but it's very time consuming. So you kind of have to decide how you're going to split your time, right? It's work, it's personal relationships, it's the gym, and then it's other things you want to do outside of that. So, all right, let's see here. Anything else? Mr. Johnson. Oh, okay. I got you. So how are we looking on the HBAR chart, and are your target prices still the same? A lot of people misunderstood. Either I didn't do a good job communicating. I feel like I did a good job communicating. But a lot of people either read into what I said and read it to be not what it was, or I just didn't do a good job communicating. I'm open to both. Maybe I just didn't do a good job communicating, even though I thought I did. I had people reaching out to me saying, hey, you still think $9 to $10 or $7 to $10 is still going to happen for HBAR? I never said $7 to $10 was going to happen for HBAR. A couple of years ago, I said that it was a possibility at the very high end. I said that, but I didn't say it was going to happen. So what I will do, I have all sorts of thoughts. To answer your question, though, what I will do is I have all sorts of thoughts on different YouTube videos I want to put out. I will revisit the Holy Crypto Trinity, okay? And I will revisit in particular where price is at and where I believe it's heading going into our final fifth wave for this cycle, because I still feel like we're in a cycle and it has yet to complete. So I will share those thoughts with you. So I'll get into that at a later time on another video. Thoughts on Solana? You'll have to rewind. I did give some thoughts on some retracements there on Solana and the price action. It's been one of the strongest even when we plunged. Yeah, actually, if you go back in the live stream, once this records, I did speak to Solana. Someone asked a question on Solana. I don't know who it was, but someone asked a question on Solana, and I came over here and retraced it. In short, to answer your question, it's been one of the stronger performers. It's holding up in this 0.382 fib extension, or excuse me, 0.382 fib retracement, so that's good to see. We got some notifications here. What's going on, everybody? Oh, yeah, I replied to this dude. All right. Anything else? We go gym. You go to the gym. That's awesome. I mean, why would you not go to the gym? Like, that's most days, that's the best part of my day, to be honest with you. Like, I start off, I get up. You guys want to, real quick, before we get off this live stream, you really want to know what my day's like on a daily basis here? I'll share it with you. This is how uninteresting I am. I get up. I need coffee. If I don't have coffee, shit is going to be it's going to be a bad day. It's going to be a bad day. If you don't give me some caffeine and coffee, shit is not going to go well. It is not, you do not want to talk to me. So, I get up around 5:15, 5:30. I got my coffee. I sit down here. I do a little work, like work, because I still do the 9 to 5. I got a lot of flexibility with my job, to be honest with you. I work for a great company, I do. And I like who I work with. I have no complaints. So I do a little work, and I get on here and I chart. Now, you might say, do you chart? I say, no, chart. And that's an inside joke between me and the CryptoBullGod. So I do a little charting. Maybe I'll explain that at some point. But I do a little charting, and I try to be a little active here on Twitter. And then what I do is I pick myself up, have a little bit of oatmeal, throw a little protein powder in there, maybe a little peanut butter or almond butter, date, blueberries, something like that. And I scurry myself off to the gym. And then I get to the gym, I give a few fist pumps to people I know in there, give a little positive motivation. Let's get this shit going. And then I work out, and I'm in the gym for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'm in there for a long time. But in all fairness, even though that sounds like a long time, you got cardio. I do cardio every day, whether it's low intensity or high intensity. I dynamically warm up my muscles to get everything moving. I don't just go right into squats and throw on 300 pounds and start squatting. It's the dumbest thing you can do. and I static stretch at the end. I always static stretch at the end. And I feel like all that stuff is one of the biggest reasons I've avoided a lot of serious injuries. So I spend quite a bit of time at the gym. Then I come home, and then I make myself some breakfast, If I'm by myself, my breakfast is lame. If I have a certain somebody else to make breakfast with me, it's pretty exciting. So do a little breakfast, start work, put on a little 94 WIP, keep track of the Philadelphia Sports Pulse. There we go, Eagles football, EAGLES Eagles. Do a little more sharding, and throw out some more charts on Twitter for all the peeps out there. And then, day goes on. Might have a little iced coffee in the afternoon. I don't know, that's like once in a while. It might be once in the week. Generally, all the coffee is in the morning. And then I'll tell you what's good with an iced coffee if you've never done this before. Kahlua. And then, but generally I don't do iced coffees. All my caffeine's in the morning. I rarely do that. So then it's the end of the day, and then I go right back to sharding. Or educating myself in the crypto space. I do a little bit of podcasts. I try to listen to informative stuff within the cryptocurrency space, do a little bit of research. If I have any plans in the evening, I might be out and about, but that's my typical day. And then I'm in bed, I get up 5:30. I'm in bed anywhere between 8:30 and 9:30. There we go. I know 8:30. When I'm exhausted, 8:30, I am in bed. So that is my typical day. So I am going to read the last few comments here, and then we really are going to be signing off because I'm saying, hey, look, it's 8:15. I need to get in bed. It's freaking late for me, all right? This is, when I was like 18 years old, my evening would just be starting, or 20 years old, I'd be like playing The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker like all night until 4 a.m., but those days are long gone. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, very good game. Great job. Would look forward to that video. Thanks, and I will look back on the video. Thank you. I appreciate that. Holy Crypto Trinity. You're damn right. These three assets, by the way, if you're not, in all seriousness, if you're not invested in HBAR, One, and Mana, never financial advice. I never give financial advice. I'm just giving you my educated view. They are three of the best performing crypto assets, okay? And of those three, the most beautiful market structure is in Mana. And I don't have I do have a chart up. Look at this thing. Look at these stair steps. Why would you not want to be invested in this? I don't understand. Up, down, up, down, up, down. It has the most beautiful market structure. So the Holy Crypto Trinity, without a question, has been monumentally important for my own personal portfolio, and I hope everyone out there, if you agree with me, it's a portion of your portfolio. You're divested in some of it. Anything else? You won't have to do the 9-to-5 job anymore at the next BTC top. So funny story about that. This is actually, so what I'll say to you is this, and it's a great example, or it's something great to share with you, me just being 100% transparent with you. Well, not 100% transparent, but transparent enough. But it's something to share with you so that you always remember to remain humble. And even during, look, guys, really, when you're facing a period like this where things are going straight down and you feel like death is upon us, one of the best things you can do is remain unemotional and educate yourself about what's going on to better prepare yourself for the future. And the reason I say this, if I had played the market perfect, if I was in the 99.9th percentile and I had played the market perfect, no, I would not be working right now. I wouldn't be. I would have quit my job, But I'm still doing well for myself. But I'm taking these opportunities to learn from parabolic rises and decreases in price and price action in the market sector and black swan events and how to better position myself and diversify my assets. Take these opportunities to really learn from it. You will be the ones who will ultimately win or maximize your opportunity at the end. in life in general, if you're faced with a really tough situation, it could be in your personal life, it could be in your personal finances. If you take the opportunity to take a deep breath and just ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? It will benefit you handsomely moving forward, okay? So, I try to put sometimes humorous content out there, but I am very serious that if you allocate your assets appropriately and you do your due diligence and you're diversified and you have the right time horizon, you really can create financial freedom for yourself. It isn't, nothing that I share with you isn't anything that I believe in. I don't put thumbnails out or content out to hype up my channel and get viewers, and I really try to share genuinely what I see in the charts and what I really firmly believe, as an educated individual. I don't know everything. This is a continual learning journey for me and everybody in it, but I do feel like I have enough experience to add value, and hopefully you feel the same. So continue to learn and continue to help me out. Someone asked me about the others' dominance, and I would say that I utilize you guys too to learn about the space. Harmony One was turned on to me by someone that followed me. They told me to look into the project. I did not invest in Harmony One until someone pointed that project out to me. So it's a win-win situation when you have a community that values you and you value the community and you learn from each other. So just keep that in mind. That's how I look at it. What's the bull case for one? All right, so we'll get in. Brian, what's up, brother? I don't know who you are, actually. I'm acting like I know you, but I don't know you, but I appreciate the question. Brian, I appreciate the question in all seriousness. Brian Dawkins? Is this Brian Dawkins? Is this number 20 for the Philadelphia Eagles? Woo! I really jacked up my ear. Something's wrong with my ear. But Brian, we'll get into the Holy Crypto Trinity in one. There's a delay on this, so I can see myself. We'll get into the Holy Crypto Trinity in one on a later video. I appreciate the question, but we're not going to get into that this evening. But I want to appreciate everyone that tuned in this evening. That's going to be the end of the live stream. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, drop a comment. Well, actually, don't drop a comment because we're tuning out now. You're too late. So hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and catch Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can have a sip of water with me. You can have a beer with me. You can have an old-fashioned with me. You can have a Manhattan with me. You can have a virgin pina colada with me, all right? But tune in for the Bitcoin Crypto Happy Hour. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. And until next time, spread awareness and carry that education forward, all right? All right.